This video is brought to you by BlueCert. BlueCert is a trusted provider for AI-related certifications designed to validate expertise in machine learning, data science, NLP, AI security, and more. You can go to bluecert.org to take a look at all of their offerings. You can explore the certifications. Here we have certifications on machine learning, AI healthcare, AI in finance, natural language processing, and many more. If I go to machine learning, you can see the different potential roles that are available for machine learning as developers and even different paths that are available. And this provides you with AI-focused specialization, flexible online exams, and also employer recognition. You can also check out some of the sample multiple choice questions on that category. If you're looking for certification for machine learning or AI related fields, check out bluecert.org. So now let's go ahead and see that how we can update this function to make it a little bit more flexible so it always doesn't say hello John. I mean, we should be able to say hello John, hello Mary, hello Stephen, and so on. So function right now, as you can see, it doesn't really take any arguments. So this is empty, right? When you open the bracket and you close the bracket, it's empty. It's really nothing going on. And this is where we can actually pass in the argument. So I can say over here, name. And now you can see as soon as I update that, this is complaining. This is like, well, the function, you're calling the function because this is the call side, right? This is calling the function. And it's saying that, well, you're supposed to pass in something because now you have to supposed to pass in something that goes in there in the name variable, name argument. And we're not really passing anything. So let's go ahead and pass something. I'm going to pass Mary. So what's going to happen is when I call the function greet, this string Mary, it's going to be passed and it's going to be placed right there in the name variable. And so this name variable for the function now will hold the value Mary, and I can then go ahead and display the value of the name variable by using the formatting operator. There we go. See that? So this is how you can actually make your function a little bit more flexible, because now you can pass in the name, which is Mary, and then you can print it out. So if I run this, you can see that it says hello Mary. And I think that's one of the really good advantages of functions, is that you can pass in different arguments to it. So I can call the same function greet, and I can pass in another argument over here, Stephen. I can call the same function. Now I can pass in anything that I want over here. I can pass in 100 over here also. All right. So if I run this, you can see it says, hello Mary, how are you? Hello Stephen, and even hello 100. All right. So you can actually do that. You can pass these things. And that makes function very, very flexible, because you can call the function at later times passing in different values. Now currently we're passing only one value, like greet, we're passing name, but you can have functions where you can pass in multiple values. Add function is a very good example, where you can pass in the first number and the second number, and then in the function you can just add them together, right? So now if I call this function, how do you call this function? Well, you pass in some value, 10, and then you pass in another value. So this means the 10 is going to go right there into a variable A, and 5 is going to go right there into variable B. So A is what? 10 plus, what is B? 5. So answer will be 15. If I run this, I should see 15. There it is, 15. So how many arguments you can pass into a function? Well, the list is quite long. You can pass in a lot of arguments, but it's always a good idea to start thinking about that to pass less. Less is always more, all right, in programming. Because even if I have like this, right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, like a function that takes in, what is it, like 8 different arguments that you have to pass in. Well, the person who is going to call that function, which is right there on line number 25, now it is their responsibility to pass in 8 different things to the function. And that makes it very hard to use the function, because now you have to gather those 8 things that you need to pass in, then you have to call the function, and it becomes a little bit of a mess, right? So I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything to pass in more argument, but usually it's always a good idea to keep it less, all right? So this is how you can create an add function which takes in 2 arguments. Now, another thing to keep in mind is right now when we call the add function, we pass in 10 and we pass in 5, and it simply prints out a plus b, which is 10 plus 5, which is 15. But how do we get access to that 15? I mean, I wanted to get access to that 15 so I can, pass it to a different function and multiply that 15 by 5 or so on, do some other calculation with it. How do I get access to 15? I don't have access to it. We pass in 10, we pass in 5, and we simply print out the result right there. I never got access to the number 15, the result of a plus b. So in the next lecture, we'll be learning about how you can return values from function. So that's going to be a fun one. So let's go ahead and check it out.